Thank you very much, Hugh, and thank you, everybody. I've been a Freemason for 60 years, and I'm 90 years of age. I have a birthday in June this year and reached the grand old age of 90. And through that period of time, I've had many experiences, a lot of it's to do with aged care. I'm also a CPA, which has nothing to do with being 90, but that's beside the point. I've been a member and past master of many lodges, so I can understand all the words that's been said about Freemasonry. I'm a member of the Essendon Daylight Lodge, and I had 2 marriages, both terminated with the death of my wives. And both, it's interesting, both the fathers-in-law were past masters. How about that? Not by design, but just the way it worked out. I've been chairman of another aged care facility. When we were the second wife, we were married at St Michael's Uniting Church in the city, and connected to that church through the Congregational Church, the Mayflower Retirement Community in Brighton. I was invited to join their board of management. And for 10 years I was chairman of the board at Mayflower. And that was another exercise. We had about 200 residents. Things have changed since I left there, but that was my first experience with aged care. And I learned a lot about what it's all about. About 10 years ago, my lodge called for some volunteers that might like to help with aged care as a visitor. This was the Essendon Daylight Lodge, and they were looking for somebody to help at springtime. Never heard of springtime, or even where it was, but I found out, of course, it's at Sydenham, a place that you don't often visit, Sydenham. You go around, but you used to be able to. Now you got a good road going right through the middle of it, but it was interesting to be involved with aged care that way. Apart from being on the manager of the chairman of the board at Mayflower, became more involved at springtime. We've got 2 areas of care. We've got the dementia wing and the high care wing. And most of the work that I've learned to accept is in the high care. About 4 or 5 years ago, my wife at that time fell and broke her hip. This might be a story that's familiar to most of you, but after hospitalisation, she was in need of respite. I said, well, the only place I know is springtime, so let's try there, which I did, and she was assessed and accepted into springtime. A bit later became full-time care. I was at home on my own and finding it a bit pretty difficult, and I then decided to apply to be assessed for a residency at Springtime, which again was accepted, which was very good, and I've been there ever since. And it's a wonderful environment. About 2 or 3 years ago now, the federal government decided to include in aged care the formation of a consumer advisory body, CAB as probably it's more commonly known, and Royal Freemasons sent out some information and wanting to know anybody who would be interested in joining that CAB at Royal Freemasons. So I thought, well, I'll do that because it's a thing that I learnt to love and understand. And then, of course, I found out about 12 months later that every aged care facility is expected to introduce a CAB, which I was aware of, but the opportunity came up at Springtime, and I was elected by the residents to represent them on the body at Springtime. And so I'm involved there, also here with the Royal Freemasons CAB. It's the most interesting exercise, and I've learned such a lot about aged care. What else have we seen here? One particular joy that I have is Christmas time. My daughter-in-law is a dressmaker and designer, and about 5 years ago she designed and drew up and made a Santa suit for me. And I've been using that each Christmas now at Springtime. And what an amazing experience that is. Half the residents, we go around the complete dementia as well as high care. The high care people are generally in the hall celebrating at Christmas time. A lot of the dementia people stay in their rooms or in the dementia wing, and to be able to go around them with a little gift from the wellbeing team is such an experience. Some of them have got no idea what it's all about, of course, at that stage of life. But those that can realise what it's about really enjoy getting a gift from Santa. And that's one of the experiences I really love, is seeing the expressions from many of the faces as we go around. It's a really uplifting time, I can assure you that. I've found the care at Springtime to be excellent, of course, and we have students there from time to time, and they get great advice and tuition, and I like to see them develop as they go around. It's difficult, I guess, to want to do something and to be able to do it. But most of the students that we have accept that, and it's amazing how they develop over a period of time. They really get into the swing of it, and of course the care and concern of the staff at springtime and through that Royal Freemasons is excellent. Anybody that would be looking for aged care for their loved one or themselves, I suppose, couldn't go anywhere else other than approach Royal Freemasons and see what the availability is, because you won't find, I don't think you'll find a better caring group of people than the staff at Screwdrive. A lot of the information that I could talk about has already been promoted by Imelda. She's the head of our wellbeing team, and I enjoy helping them out with various things. I've always been a singer. I've sung in this hall many times with the Royal Freemasons Choir, and it's always nice when we have a birthday or even a celebration of some sort I like to think of leading the singing of the residents. Some of them have got a wish to sing and can't, but never mind. Sure, we have kids, that's a great fun. But it's always a joy to me to be able to help the staff and the residents by giving them something to enjoy. And I'd certainly, as I said, like to thank the Grand Master for his comments today. Very, very helpful, and I'm sure that it'll be able to be used in what I do, apart from being a resident, being an advisor there at springtime. Thank you all very much for listening.